everyone. You guys know what time it is. It's What If time. Also, I would just like to say that I thought about it and I'll be bringing one person from the, crew of the Black Lagoon and giving them a quirk that basically makes them, ageless. So, you guys will soon figure out who it is. So, yeah. Because I really like the character that I'm bringing on. So, yeah. Other than that, we will be doing a different point of view from this point of this, person from the Black Lagoon crew. So, yeah. Halfway through it, I'm probably going to switch back to, Izumi. So, yeah, hopefully you guys will enjoy this What If, as this is the first time of me going through another person's eyes for a good part of the What If. So, yeah. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it. As we cut to, someone wearing a old security vest. As we can see, two signature, M9 Berettas in, a few side holsters. As we can see, them with ivory handles and with, silver skulls and cutlasses engraven into the ivory handles. As we see through the eyes of this person, the doors open up to, see a small girl walk in. One that can't be past the age of, 9 or 8, as she's seeing it. As she can see a nice cult army revolver on this girl's, backside. As she can see that it's holstered similar to how, some people put their knives on. As the girl looks around, seeing, everyone looking at her. As the girl simply says, in an irritated tone, "What the fuck are you all looking at? Go back to your drinks." As most would do what the girl says. As this intrigues, the woman even more. As she watches, the girl walk up to the barkeeper, Lance. As she actually sees Lance act remotely polite for once, as he hasn't done that in years. As she's now, intrigued in the little girl. As she originally thought that this kid was just another gutter rat, like her when she was younger, when she got here. As she can already, see into those eyes. The eyes of the dead. As she simply, pulls out a photo. As it's the old crew of the Black Lagoon. Her and 3 other men. as she simply sighs and lights up a cigarette. As she, looks up to see, Lance with a actual smile. As the woman, now known as Revy, would simply, stuff the photo back under, her vest, as she would get up and start walking out. As she would take a phone out, a touchscreen, and activate it. As she would begin, calling someone. As the phone would, pick up. As we can hear, Aizawa's voice come out of, the phone, saying, "Who is it? I got stuff to do. I don't have time to deal with people." With Revy simply taking the cigarette out of her mouth and blowing it out, saying, "Shota Aizawa, what have I told you about talking to me like that? And what I would do the next time when you did?" As we can, basically hear the, overwhelming, dread coming from Aizawa's side of the phone. As we hear him quickly say, "Sorry, Robin Hood. I'm just sorry. Nezu has not been very, kind sticking me with a teaching position. I practically had to expel a whole class this year, because none of them met the expectations that I saw. Thank goodness most of them in, Class 1B was able to, fill in the gaps and were actually useful." As Revy would simply say, "Hey, you still looking for that girl? Of your best friends? Your brother, I should say?" As we can hear from, Aizawa's end of him asking, in, a weary tone, "Did you find her? Because please tell me you're not yanking my, scarf here, Robin." As as Revy would simply say, "The girl that I saw met all the descriptions. White hair, yellow eyes. The only thing that didn't match was, her attitude. But that girl was radiating the dead as much as me and you, to be honest with ya." As Revy would simply keep on going with the cigarette that she lit in, the grave. As Aizawa would simply say, "If she's already that far gone, all I can ask is you to keep an eye on her, Robin." With Revi, thinking about it. As Revi simply just says, what you're asking for me is, well, going to cost you, Aizawa. I do know you're not practically rolling in this stuff in Japan, but you'll still be, well, good in it. With Aizawa sighing, how much? As Revi decides to be generous, as she just simply says, I just need ammunition costs. That's all. Other than that, you can consider that girl perfectly safe. As Aizawa's kind of all shocked. As Aizawa simply says, what are you planning? With Revi simply giving a smile, saying, oh, me? I'm not planning anything. I couldn't plan my way out of a wet paper bag. With Aizawa simply saying in a stern tone, that's a lie and you know it. Robin, you're probably one of the most dangerous people in Roanapur. Besides the Black Lagoon Company and the Russian mob. With Robin simply saying, is it a deal or not, Aizawa? I have other people buying for my services, you know. With Aizawa simply, well, groaning and sighing afterwards, saying, fine. But I want you to send her our way once she comes of age to leave that place. Understood? With Revi simply saying, Crystal, I'll even deliver her myself to you. As we do another small, well, as we do a small time skip. A year, in fact. As we are now, well, at checkpoint where the mob is, well, getting as many hunters as they can, as they plan on driving out the Yakuza. As we can see, well, Reverie already there, as she's not too far away from the, well, Black Lagoon Company. As she has to keep on reminding herself that none of the people there are, well, her old friends. They're just replacements. As everybody turns to see, well, the little girl walk in with a M4A1 slung over her back, along with a Colt Army revolver on the back of her hip. As a lot of them don't care and go back to, well, waiting. as Reverie still keeps an eye, as she has a flashback, as the first time that she got to Roanapur, she had to lie, kill, and steal just to survive. And this girl is not too far behind how she ended up, as she, simply keeps an eye on, Izumi, as we see, a ex-Russian officer of the Russian army walk up and explain their roles to everyone, as it finally gets down to, the last two people in the room. And Izumi and Robin, you two will be taking the docks. The Russian mob expects this to be done. Do I make myself clear? As Reverie would just simply hear from, the girl, Crystal. But this better not affect the pay that I'm getting. As Revi would just simply, think to herself, a girl after my own heart. Charming. As she would start following the girl. As she can tell that, the girl is, tense around her. As she can see, the girl wound up like a springboard, ready to launch itself and anyone on it at any moment. As she simply says to Izumi, "Is this your first job, kid?" With Izumi simply shaking her head, saying, "Nope." Well, I guess I could say this is my first mercenary job. Lance didn't give me much of a choice after signing us up for this task. He simply said, "If you're gonna be living here, Izumi, you gotta know what it's like to kill. Your father did it, so you should do it too." As Robin would simply nod at that, saying, "So, he's your dad, kid." As Izumi simply just, says his name, Hasashi. That's all you're getting from me. Now, are you going to ask questions? Or are you going to start with a plan? Because I really do not want to get shot. As Revi would start telling, the plan to Izumi. As we cut to, Izumi's point of view. As she's currently walking with, Robin Hood of Roanapur, the oldest vigilante in Roanapur. As she was just told the plan by her. As Izumi understood it and, got prepared. Sling her, M4 over her soldiers and loading in, a magazines, one of the magazines that she has had connected to her hips and, on the side of her chest and sides, as she would hear, Robin Hood comment on, her choice of ammunition. Huh. Never seen an M4 loaded in, 7.62 by 31. Must have been a black market special, kid. How much did that cost you? As Izumi would simply reply to, Robin Hood, a year of paid work under, Lance and the League. As we would just hear Robin whistle. Really? You were doing work for the League of Love? As we can just hear Izumi groan, saying, I told Lance the name was stupid. But no, nobody listens to the 10-year-old. As they would reach their location. As Izumi would simply be grabbed by, the back of her shirt and be brought to, Robin's side. With Izumi giving, her a look of, why did you do that? As Robin would simply look at her and tell Izumi that I need you on the roof of that building. You're the only one with, a long-range weapon, kid. So you're on watch duty. as Izumi would see, well, Robin Hood hand her, well, a hunting scope, as she just simply says should fit on your, well, M4, turning into, well, a long-range carbine kid. Start taking out targets once you hear the signal, with Izumi never being told what the signal was in the plan originally, but her saying, what the hell is going to be the signal? With Robin simply pulling out, well, her two M9s, as she would simply smile at her, saying, "Oh, you'll know it when you see it, kid. Just get in position. The fun will be happening soon." As Izumi would simply, well, shrug and start attaching, well, the scope to her M4, as she would switch it to, well, semi-auto, instead of, well, the full auto that she had it on before. As she's actually slightly disappointed, as she was kind of hoping to, well, use the full auto setting to see, well, the kickback that this gun would have. As she would mumble, basically saying, "In the course I get stuck with watch duty. Lovely." As she would find a ladder on, well, the back of the house, leading up to the roof for quick access, as she would start climbing it. As she would get on the roof and get on a prone position, as she would, well, simply watch what's happening down there. As one of the buildings would simply blow up. As gunfire erupts, well, down there. As Izumi simply, well, grumbles, saying she's a goddamn lunatic, as she would start putting off shots. As the muzzle flash of the round of her gun would simply, well, give her way, as she wouldn't get hit due to, well, where she was, although she wasn't able to fire back, as she would be cursing like a sailor after being found out after her first shot. As we can see her, well, peeking over the edge, as her eyes go wide as she sees, well, 3 men getting, well, a machine gun ready, bipod and all, as she hurries away, as loads of, well, 308 rounds would start, well, destroying, well, the part that she was on, as she would fall into the building itself. twisting, well, her ankle on landing, as she would simply, well, scream and curse, as she would crawl over to, well, the wall, simply smashing the window open, as she would be blind firing by this point, saying screw it and switching, well, her M4 to full auto. As we cut to, well, Revy, as Revy just saw, well, what just happened, as she's simply, well, just killing people left and right, taking cover, and just trying not to die like the good old days for her. Like when Rock was around, as she would just shake her head of that thought, as she would just grumble, damn it. I need to get my shit together. Can't be thinking of him during this job. That's how I'll wind up dead. As a man would come around, well, the corner screaming, holding a katana, as she would just simply shoot him right between the eyes, screaming, if you're going to do a sneak attack, don't scream like a bloody banshee. As the man would simply fall, with the sword dropping in front of her, as she remembers that old samurai fart that almost killed her one time, as she would grumble, saying, well, at least he taught me something useful, as she would pick up, well, the katana, getting up, and, well, throwing it like a spear, with as much force as she could muster behind it, spearing one dude through the throat. As the fire would start back up, as she would have to take cover again. As she, well, hears in the distance the sounds of 762 going off in full auto, as she just grumbles, saying, God damn it, kid, as she peeks around the corner to see that she is firing from a window, as she can see, well, where she told her to be, collapsed. As she's, well, groaning to herself, that fucking kid better still be alive, because I will not have goddamn Aizawa bitch at me. As she realizes that where the people are that are shooting at her is near a crate of explosives. As she quickly, well, pops out and, well, shoots a random explosive within the bin, as hell if she knows what it was, as a loud explosion would ring out once more. As the sounds of, well, shooting would mostly die out. As she would peek her eyes over, seeing, well, not much is left of the people who were shooting her. As she would wince a little, saying, yeah, there's no coming back from that. as she would hear the sounds of, well, heavy caliber rounds being shot near, well, her partner, as she would just groan, saying, "Ah, god fucking damn it, kid," as she would get up and start running and firing at, well, the people manning the machine gun. As she would kill the other three. As one of, well, Izumi's bullets would hit, well, Revi in the arm. As she would shout at the kid, saying, "Hey, stop shooting at me!" As the firing would, well, stop. As Izumi's head would peek out the window, saying, "Did we kill them all?" With, well, Revi simply holstering one of her guns and clutching the wound Izumi gave her. Simply saying, "This is no way to make friends." As she simply gives a thumb up to, well, the girl. As she asks the girl if she has any injuries, with Izumi replying to Revi that she has a twisted ankle. As Revi simply pulls out a cigarette and, well, lights it. As she takes a deep drag and lets it all out. As she, well, tells her that she's coming to, well, get her. That's time for them to head back now that the job's complete. As this is where I'm ending it, everyone. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you enjoyed my interpretation on how, well, Revi would be like all these years in, well, the far future. There was only one way I could, well, do it, and hopefully you guys don't mind if I made her, well, ageless. But yeah. As normal, there will be a link to, well, my Discord in the description box. So yeah, go join, well, the crew on Discord. Along with, don't forget to, well, comment in the comment section, as all comments are valid, as I do read them all. If you have any ideas for, well, characters that you think should, well, be in the What If, and if you guys can come up with a reason for how they are still there, then I will probably add them in. If you guys want to add, like, your own OCs, though, for certain groups in Roanapur, then feel free to do that in the Discord for original character. Just make sure you put down for your original character what if it's for. But on that note, I guess I'll do my usual of don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel, along with comment. Also, I would like this video to reach, well, 500 views by the end of the week, please. So that way I know you guys are still enjoying this What If, even though if I might have lost my touch just a wee bit in the storytelling department. So yeah, see you guys later, and ciao.